I'm doing this video on the 17th of Heshvan. That's the day Noah entered the ark, you see. And just show you. I'm just going to feed my pigeons in the ark. Go ahead. People next door don't like it. It's too bad. So, I'm in the ark. This is my ark, by the way, where I live. This is Noah's Ark. And that's the pigeon section. And some very deep things have been happening for me. And I'm going to be doing my videos on the move, so to speak. I woke up this morning and I was thinking about a lecture that I went to of Alain Badiou the other day, who talks about evental, the event, a transformation of transformative events that happen in life for him, and for he called an evental the 1968 uprising in France of students. And there was also a uprising, say, he called it Arab Spring, and there haven't been too many eventals. So I asked him there, in French and English, by the way, which is another one of my points, that how can an individual have an evental? How can they have an event? And what he said was that love is the event for the individual. And he brings up the Apostle Paul, and he wrote a book on Apostle Paul, Alain Badiou. But love is the event of the individual, and for me, love isn't good enough, because love is like a general rule. For me, one has to have a love at first sight for it to be an event. And then I was thinking about the love at first sight, and that's why Yitzhak is the special one of the three patriarchs who never left Israel, never changed his name, comes from the left side, and theoretically, for me, Yitzhak is the seed of Cain, and Yitzhak was at the Akedah, and there's a certain part of the Akedah, even though he was spared, so to speak, there's a certain part of him that died because the hearing of his death, or the apparent Akedah, not his death, was enough to kill his mother Sarah. And, well, Yitzhak had love at first sight with Rachel. No, excuse me, not Rachel, I got the wrong brother. I forget the name right now. You know, these are extemporaneous speeches. I don't prepare things. So Yitzhak had the love at first sight with Rivka, Rebecca, and that was the event. And so, you know, since I think that people should have two languages, I actually, because I was thinking of this event with love, and so I looked it up in French, and in French, love at first sight is a coup de foudre. Coup de foudre. means a stroke of lightning. I like to think that this stroke of lightning, this coup de foudre, accompanied the initial rain that started on the 17th of Heshvan. And this coup de foudre, which again, when it sounds very much like the French word foutre. Foutre means to fuck. You see? So it's a coup de foudre, a strike of lightning. It's almost like a coup de foutre. And in English we have what they call a DT complex. And very often that's what happened to me in college. They said I had a DT complex. When I said T on, I said D. It's like a New York accent. So foutre and foudre is the same thing. A lightning and an intercourse is the same thing. An orgasm is a lightning. A coup means a strike. It's like a coup droit, a strike, a forehand in tennis. And each stroke that you do in tennis is like an intercourse, like an orgasm, because the core, the hips move like that. And there has to be two languages. A lot of great writers wrote in two languages. Nabokov and the guy who wrote Waiting for Godot in French. Nabokov came and wrote in English, and the other guy wrote in French. You see? So, with that, I call it two languages. One is a langue de mère, the mother tongue, and there's the other I call a langue de nana, the girlfriend tongue. A langue de mère is something that you learn from your mother. It's kind of like blocked and locked. The langue de, that's your native tongue. The langue de girlfriend tongue is the second language, and that comes from a girlfriend. But the whole secret in love is to have love at first sight. That puts a whole different thing. That's evental in life. That changes everything. It's out of the discourse of the continuum. This is a very special, unique kind of concept. You see. And that, for me, is today. Because I have looked today is a special day. And this is also a distinction between Heshvan and Mar Heshvan. Heshvan to me, there's a maklokas, what's the name of the month? Mar Heshvan or Heshvan? Mar means bitter, but it also means drop, like a moisture. And this moisture starts on the 17th of Heshvan. And so for me, Mar Heshvan starts on the 15th of the month, at the full moon of the month. Kind of 3 days before the flood. And Heshvan itself was the 45-day period that carried over from Rosh Hashanah. And then we lose the effect of Rosh Hashanah, and now we're in Heshvan, Mar Heshvan, the bitterness of Heshvan, the water of Heshvan. And this flood, we have the opportunity to go into a flood. Into a teva, into a word